Alright, in this video we are going to look at the notification coding in KLWP. I've done a video on notifications using Tasker where it just kind of counted the number of notifications we received, but KLWP does let us pull a little bit more information and we can customize our wallpaper all using KLWP and not using Tasker per se. I've ran into a few issues, nothing major, but let me go ahead and talk about those right now. So what I got, if you've messed around with notifications any, you can get the text of the notification, you can get the title, you can get the description, you can get the package that the notification is coming from, you can get the app name that it's coming from. And this down here is just saying, okay, this is my notification 0. And also some things to talk to you about, even if you have or haven't looked at notifications. We have two different types of notifications, ones that you can cancel and ones that are persistent. So let's go ahead and talk and understand the difference between what a cancelable or one that we can cancel versus one that's persistent. So I've got my phone in airplane mode right now just for the sake of me not receiving any more emails during this video. That way, personal stuff or just so it won't throw a kink into things as I'm making it. But notice we do have a lot of things up here. Just some notifications here for you. I'm going to close this up real quick just to go back and let's count. We have 7 that we can cancel. We got 4 that are persistent. Persistent means you can't cancel them. For example, since I have my phone connected to my computer, side sync, this is persistent. I can't drag that off the screen. So that's a persistent. Tasker right here, same thing. I cannot cancel that no matter how far I try to drag it. Connected as a media device, cannot drag it off. Airplane mode, I cannot drag it off. So these are the 4 that are persistent. You can kind of still see that hiding down there. Now, the ones that we can cancel, how many did it say we had? I think it was 7. Well, let's count them real quick. So we knew airplane mode was persistent. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the Google Play update. There's number 7. Alright, so we have 7 of them that we can cancel. It's not so much an issue. Let me close all this stuff. Now, what I've created and what I'm going to talk about in here is how you can cycle through them without having to go to your notification bar. And if you've been watching my videos, you notice in every video I pretty much have my notification bar hidden anyway. So this is pretty nice to have. So I'm going to use these little arrows down here, some buttons, and I'm going to cycle through. Right now I'm on notification 0, and then there's 1. Remember seeing these are just test emails I sent myself just for the sake of the video. So text, first email address, subject line. So this right here on my particular email app, type app, that's the package. This is showing me the subject line of that email. Title is showing that might be who it's from or it might be who it's to. I don't know because I emailed myself. Description, I'm not seeing anything. Here's the package. That's the package name and that's the app that notification is coming from. So notification number 2. Now again we already had 0. The first 2, the 0 and the 1 are actually the first 2, and if you recall there were 2 different emails. Second email address, subject line test, title Brandon Craft. Again I emailed myself. But let's go ahead and go to this one, Space Monkey. I don't know if you remember seeing that. If I scroll down on my notifications, there it is right there, Space Monkey. All right. Swipe that back up. Okay, the Google News and Weather. I have these set to notify me. And what in the heck is that? I don't know. Okay. We're here anyway. So text, the Democratic race's most combative debate yet. It looks like title Google News and Weather, description nothing. This is the package for Google News and Weather. There's the app, there's my notification count. So let's see what this text and this title really is referring to. So it looks like in that notification, Google News and Weather, that was the title and this is the text. Okay, I don't know how to get that NBCnews.com. I'm not going to tap on this because I'm not connected to the web on my phone, but more than likely, Google News and Weather, you can tap on that and open it. But nonetheless, we're just getting an idea of what each thing tells us. The text versus the title. I'm going to keep on going through these. Notification 4, News and Weather. That was another one of those Google News and Weathers. Still no description. Number 5, that was the keyboard thing. The package is Android, the app is Android system, and then there's that Google Play. So this is notification number 6, but keep in mind there was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So technically there's 7 notifications, but still it still says I have 7 that I can cancel. But for some reason, the way I had this coded, maybe, I don't know, it doesn't bother me too much, but there really is no notification number 7, I'm guessing, because that means I would have 8 notifications, if that makes any sense. Because remember, it's 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it says 7, but really there is no 7th one. And now watch this. I tap this button again, and it's going to automatically cycle me back to the front. That notification 0 that we've already been through. And now I can go backwards as well. I can go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and if you notice, everything was changing dynamically depending on, you know, what notification it was and what package it came from, what app it came from, and things like that. Let me show you what happens to the cancelable if I go in here and cancel one of them. For example, let's cancel. I kept this one up here for a while because I've been meaning to do this video, but that was back on the 4th. Let me swipe that out. Gone. Alright, so what that's going to do is it's going to get rid of it, and notice it went from 7 to 6. Now watch what happens to my buttons. It's still going to go, it's not going to go up to 7 down here, it's going to go up to 6. And watch what happens, tap it again, it goes back to 0. Because I have KLWP using a text global, as I cycle through these things, it's not going to keep on going, you know, 3 and then 4, 5, 6. It's not going to go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 if it's not picking up those number of notifications. So that's what the whole idea is to this video. And if I go back in here and I'm going to cancel out a few more. Let me cancel out my Google Play updates. So I just got rid of another one. You can see it goes to 5. Let's get rid of the keyboard. Oh, check it out. It went to 4. Let me get rid of Space Monkey. See, it goes to 3. So we got 1, 2, 3. All right. So with that in mind, I'm going to keep all those other ones up there. And now let's cycle back through them again. So there's really the first one. Here's really the second one, even though it's titled 1. There's the third one, and for some weird reason it just wants to go to this one. So that's not a big issue to me. I mean, if you're going to use this on your custom live wallpaper, maybe you can figure out the solution to this. I haven't looked too deep into it, and for one, it doesn't really bother me because I can just easily, boom, and be back to a notification. Alright, so enough of that. Let's talk about how to get this to work. How can you toggle through your notifications? Let's go into KLWP. And what I did is, inside of KLWP, I have a global variable, and it's a text global, and I just called it not, short for notify. You can call it whatever you want. Alright, I gave it a value of 0, and that's the only global variable I have here. Again, nothing fancy, as none of my videos are really fancy, not a lot of them. So, this text item down here at the bottom, basically I have it coded to say, okay, NI count. Let's talk about that notification thing again. So here's notifications, and NI count, that code right there is going to return how many notifications I have that I can cancel. And remember, I got rid of a few of them, so I have 3 persistent. Remember the tasker and like connected as a media device, those are persistent. That's just there to kind of help me show you and teach you what I'm taking out of this. All right, so good with that. Now this is just a huge text file or text item up here. It's just all a whole bunch of junk. But let me talk about what I have going on here. So the text, if I scroll, can I scroll up through this? Yes. So, whoops. All right, so text, I have NI, and then I have GV not. Remember that global variable, that text global variable? That is going to serve. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you a lot of this NI stuff now because of the way the text thing's set up. But if we at least go to NI, where was it with text? I'm scrolling down here. Title. Okay, there we go. So, second email address, subject line, test. Notice that's exactly what it says there is what I see right here for the text. It's just a frame of reference. But basically what this is doing is this pulling the 0, because remember GV not, I had it set to 0 right now, so it's pulling the 0 one. The title, Let me see what I got here. Where's title? Oh, I went past it. It was earlier, wasn't it? Well, description's nothing now. I've talked about that. I don't know what's up with the description thing. Maybe y'all can figure that out. But check out, title is 0, comma title. Well, I have GV not, comma title. So basically, instead of me using a number in here, I'm using that global variable. And this is why I'm doing that, because I want to be able to go through all these, but all these codes are the same. GV not, and then the description, if there was one, GV notify or not for package, the app, and then I have my notification number, and I'm just using that GV not, short for notify. So how can I cycle through these things? How do I make it so where if I have, 7 notifications, how do I make it not go to, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? All of that is revolved around how I have my touch set up. So let's talk about this one right here, this button. Fast forward. And if I touch this thing, I want to toggle my global switch, not the only one I have in this setup. And here's the code that I have. If the text global variable note or not, whatever you want to call it, if it is less than the number of cancelable notifications I have, NI count is going to return a number, and in this case, whatever that number may be. How many? What was it I had? I can't remember off the top of my head. Well, heck, I can scroll down up here, can't I? Let me scroll down. How many of these can I cancel right now? 3. 1, 2, 3. I can cancel those 3. Sometimes KLWP doesn't return in the advanced editor exactly what's going on. But so basically, if my text global variable is less than 3, I want to take that text global variable and add 1 to it. And it's going to keep doing this until it becomes something that's not less than the number of cancelable notifications I have. And then once it does that, once it becomes essentially this number, if I press my button again, I want it to go back to 0, which is going to return that GV not back to 0. Hope that makes sense. So basically, this right here is going to add 1 to GV not. Whereas if I use this other button to go back, here's the fast rewind right here, just that button, nothing fancy. If I go to touch, I have it set to toggle global switch GV not, and here's my formula for this. If my global variable is not equal to 0, and basically it's going to be something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or how many ever notifications I have that are cancelable, I'm going to take that global variable not, and I'm going to subtract 1 from it. And I will keep subtracting 1 from it as long as it's not equal to 0. But when it does become 0, I want to be able to go back up to my number of notifications. So NI count, this is what's going to dynamically change depending on how many notifications I have. And by this, when I say notifications, I am talking about ones that I can cancel. I'm not messing with the persistent stuff in this particular code. But this is how I can dynamically change it. And notice while ago when I had like 7 of them, then I went in and I swiped out some of my notifications. This was actually changing. So if I went backwards or forwards on my buttons, it was dynamically changing depending on how many cancelable notifications I had. So those are the 2 codes that you need. And I'm just pointing these things up here for reference because now what we can start to do, I hope you understand how I'm cycling through those now. It's really kind of, if you've watched a lot of my text global variable videos right here lately, especially the one I just uploaded recently about changing colors directly on your live wallpaper instead of coming back in here. It's all about, just adding something to a text global or subtracting something. Many applications of the text global variable. But watch what we can do now. Since we know, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to change this global variable. Let's change this to 1. So I should get some information. All right. So suppose we wanted, I got my app, type app. But suppose as you're scrolling through your notifications, you don't want to see that word. Suppose you want to see like a icon font or a picture or something like that. So let me show you what we can do here. Now, since I have all of that junk in, one big file, I'm just going to take this thing and let's back up and let's add an icon font. All right, so I know the video just changed on you, but I had to go take care of something real quick. but we added an icon font. And what I went ahead and did is just, I'm going to show you to save about 5 or 10 minutes. That icon font, what I did is I went through here and I explored, I chose Font Awesome, and I was looking through here and I was just looking at some things maybe that I wanted. For example, okay, you might say, what is this? What is this? What is this? These are the package names of those notifications, particular apps that I'm getting. So Calendar Plus is my calendar app. So there is a font somewhere, or icon font somewhere in here. Where is it at? Right there. Boom. Calendar. So I need to remember that name. Calendar, because I'm going to have to type that in a second, or I've already typed it in for you. This com.trtf.blue, that is my email app, or the package name for the email app. And what I use for that one is Inbox. So INBOX. All right. What about this thing right here, com.google and blah, 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 blah. This right here is the Google News and Weather that you've been seeing. And what I used for that one was the, where did you go? Globe, right there. Boom. Okay, so I'm writing these down because I've already went and done the code, but these are just 3 packages that I've seen so far. So if I go back and I'll show you the code that I've put in, you might say, where the heck is the money coming from? But here's what I've done. Like I said, if you don't want to see the app name, delete it. If you don't want to see the app package, delete it. But maybe you want to see an icon when that particular notification is, when you're toggling through it. You want to say, okay, was it a calendar notification? And also, you know, I haven't talked about calendar, but while I was away, I did have some, as you can see up here, I do have some calendar notifications as well. But basically, as you're toggling through your notifications, do you want to, is it coming from your calendar? Is it coming from your email app? Is it coming from your Google News and Weather, or whatever app you're getting notifications from? Well, here's how you can code that. You can get the package name, recall. Boom. Okay, get out of the way. Let me save this, and let me scroll back through some of these notifications. So here's one. There's the package. Yes, I did have something this morning to take care of, but like right there, the package name. This is what I'm using. I'm not using the app name in my code because of like a plus or something, and you know, with coding, plus can mean something else different when you're doing your codes. So I just chose to work with the package name. Notice I got that right there. There's my calendar package name. There's another one. And look at the icon down here. See how I have a little calendar icon? What happens if we get to a different package? Where's a different package? Boom, email. The com.trtf, remember I called it inbox? There's that inbox. Did you see it change? There's the calendar. Boom, there's the inbox. There's another one, same package. Now I'm at that other weird one, but that's the news and weather. So therefore, again, this is something else where maybe the and can throw off the coding, so I'm just using the package name. And remember I picked globe. Now, what about this none of these? And as time goes on, as you start getting more and more notifications, make sure you record the package so you can go back and add that package to your coding that I'm going to show you in a second. And you can assign a icon font to that. That way you can, you know, start to organize them and see things change dynamically as you toggle through your notifications. And then this weird one here I've talked about, you know, I don't have a notification number 7, but yet it's still showing up. So I just have a money sign showing. So, you know, scrolling through them, changing, again, anything, blank package, money symbol, that's how I have it coded, news and weather, globe, inbox, icon for my email app, and the calendar. Now, like I said, as time goes on and you start getting more and more notifications, record that package so you can code it. Now, let me show you how to code that. And there's multiple ways to code it. You can do a nested if, or you can just do something like this. Basically, if whatever notification I have based on my text global variable, remember we're cycling through them, if its package is equal to blah, 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 blah. That's that thing right there. Basically, if I get a notification from this package, which is my calendar app, I want to use the icon font calendar. So notice I have it, comma, calendar, I end that code. new code. I didn't enter down, I'm just going right over. Okay, if that same code here, but if that package is equal to this, which is my email app, I want to see my inbox icon font. So notice comma inbox. End the code, start a new code. You could do a nested if here, but I like doing it just like this, just fine. It's going to do one of these, and basically, now you're going to have sometimes where one of these is, if you don't have the package in your code yet, like I said, record them down and go back in and add them as you get them. But I do have something to take care of that money symbol. Remember that one? Basically, if the package is blank, and I think this is the right way to code something if it's blank, because the money symbol was showing up when the package was a blank. There was nothing in that spot. But obviously, you know, what were some notifications that I got rid of? Like the Google Play Store update. If you want to see an icon for that, come in here and add a new code to it. Record the name of that icon font, and you know, pop it in here. And therefore, once you do all this, and you're scrolling through, I mean, if I go back and do some cleaning up now, if I go in here and text, and you know, maybe I don't. Okay, I don't. Like I said, if you don't want the app, you don't want to see the app name, hide it. Oh, I don't want to delete all that. I'll tell you what. Okay, I don't need to see that. Package I don't need to see. Now, I would recommend keeping package there. Though I'm deleting it, I'll recommend keeping it there for a little while so you can write down the package names so you can go in and change your code. Notification number, I'll just leave it there for the heck of it. Description, I haven't seen a description yet. Maybe you have, but I haven't. So I don't want to see that. Maybe I want to keep my title. And again, this is not going to be visually appealing. But as you can see now, save this, go back to my home screen. And now as I go through, again, this was a blank package. Remember number 7 was blank. But if I start going through these things, so here's my calendar little thing. And you know, make this look a lot better than what it looks here. Maybe you want to bump that icon up somewhere up here, and then you know, hey, okay, I got a calendar notification. You can delete the text, delete the title, but you know, got your time, got your location, or whatever it may be. That's the title of my particular thing I took care of. That was a student I had to tutor, or student I will be tutoring. Department meeting at work next week. Pre-emergent, I got a pre-emergent in my yard, but all of these things are coming from that package. These are just little calendar reminders for me. And now when I get into my email, this is this one, so I should be seeing my inbox. And again, put this somewhere where you can easily see it. There's another email, and there's me pressing that thing again. Google News and Weather, that's this package, so I should be seeing a globe as I see that. And that was the only Google News and Weather I have apparently. And then again, there's that money symbol. So like I said, you can easily just boom, skip right over it. It doesn't bother me too much about having that one weird blank one. Maybe you won't have it. Maybe it's something dealing with one of these apps. Maybe my email app has a blank one in there, but it's not showing the package. I don't know what it's doing, but it's not a big deal to me. But that's a lot. You know, we've covered a lot in this video in regards to notifications, and I hope it gets you started off in the right step to using this, because I definitely will be through time. But yeah, there you have it. That's how you can deal with some notifications and toggle through them in KLWP. And that's it for this video. Hope it helped.